It's preseason game number 1 for the Minnesota Vikings, and Kevin O'Connell started most of the Minnesota Vikings starters. Only a few didn't play. Justin Jefferson, Shaq Griffin, and I don't know who else really didn't play, but most of the starters played offensively, and most of the starters played defensively. But let's dive into the most talked about subject, the most interesting subject of them all, and that is the quarterback play from the Minnesota Vikings, 2 quarterbacks. First, let's start with Sam Darnold. This podcast is going to be dedicated to Sam Darnold, and this podcast is brought to you by Hokeland Farm. Contact Hokeland Farm at 952-491-1541 and get the best rotationally grazed 100% grass-fed beef. This beef is sold at quarters and halves, and they have custom sample packs so you can try before you buy. Contact Hokeland Farm and get sirloin steaks, T-bone steaks, ground beef, chuck roast, and more. 952-491-1541. 20% off your first order when you mention the Minnesota Tim podcast. So Sam Darnold's stat line. He played 1 series for the Minnesota Vikings. He went 4 for 8, 59 yards, about 7 yards per throw, 0 sacks, 0 interceptions, 0 touchdowns. He did lead the Minnesota Vikings down the field, got them into field goal range, and the Minnesota Vikings offense went for it on 4th and 2 because it was a preseason game. Why wouldn't you go for it on 4th and 2? But in all likelihood, that would have been a field goal in a regular season game, so you can chalk 3 points up on the board for the Minnesota Vikings offense led by Sam Darnold. A couple of notes to take away. The fact that he only played 1 series tells you a lot. It tells you that the quarterback decision has already been made and that Sam Darnold will be starting week 1 for the Minnesota Vikings on the road versus the New York Giants. If Kevin O'Connell didn't have all that much faith in Sam Darnold, well, then he would have played more than 1 series. This isn't a real quarterback battle. Sam Darnold is the quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings in week 1. And you got him some reps offensively. You got him some throws to Jalen Naylor. You got him some attempts to Jordan Addison. You got him handing the ball off to Ty Chandler. And that's all it was really for. If he played 3 series or 4 series, well, then maybe we're talking about a real quarterback battle. But because he played 1 series, Sam Darnold is the trusted quarterback, the guy that Kevin O'Connell trusts most to win football games right now in the NFL. That's my first takeaway. My second takeaway, Sam Darnold looks sharp. I know he only went 4 for 8, but Ty Chandler dropped one of those, went right off his hands, which the ball was right at the 3 and 2 on his chest, and he just slammed it down like a volleyball. So that drop wasn't on Sam Darnold. They went for it on 4th down. They wouldn't have done that in a real regular season game. So even though he went only 4 for 8, those numbers aren't super accurate of how he performed. And I'm going to show video of some of his throws in this first preseason game. He had a 3rd and 10 on the opening possession. And the Minnesota Vikings elected to receive. I don't know if the Raiders deferred. I don't know who won the toss. I don't really give a bleep. But the Minnesota Vikings got the ball first. And I'm going to share my screen just like this. And here's the first throw from Sam to Jalen Naylor. Look at that. That's a beautiful throw over the outstretched arm of the linebacker, 3rd and long. The Las Vegas Raiders are also playing their starters defensively and offensively to start this football game. 3rd and 10, not the position you want to be in, but has a beautiful touch pass throw in between the linebacker and the safety, and Jalen Naylor picks up the first down. Here's another angle. Look at that. Barely over the outstretched arm. And this is where people get the talk of, okay, he was a number 3 overall pick for a reason. It's because he can make these kind of throws. And these are the throws that he displayed in his 1 and only series for the Minnesota Vikings. And this is why he's going to be the starting quarterback. Here's another good throw. Sam Darnold under pressure from his own running back. Ty Chandler steps up right into his pocket. It trips him up as he's throwing. He still has the arm strength to get the ball out there to Jordan Addison, and he catches the ball for another first down on 3rd and 7. So he moves the chains twice on 3rd downs. And this is an impressive throw. Going to the right, all the way across the other side of the field, right on the dot, as he's off balance. I mean, this throw could have been something where he threw it way high in the air, cornerback runs under it, and it's the easiest interception in the history of the NFL. No. That's not the case at all. It is a beautiful touch pass throw to the sidelines. It's past the first down marker, so no 4th and 8 jokes here for Kirk Cousins, and it was a great throw. So Sam Darnold leads the Minnesota Vikings down the field, and it would have been a field goal if they didn't play a preseason game. So Sam Darnold looks sharp. He will be the opening day starter for the Minnesota Vikings, and him only playing one series shows that that's true. All right. A J.J. McCarthy podcast will be coming later because he's still playing. So thank you for making this episode and this podcast a part of your day. Contact Oakland Farm at 952-491-1541.